Good evening, everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us!
You did it twice!
Kind of. He did it a little bit.
Reluctantly, but he did it.
Fair
So
enough.
thank you all for joining us. This is our honest review section of our Spotlight stream. And the Spotlight stream, in case you don't know, is where we like to do a preview of a game that is just coming out to market or has just released to market, something like that. And this week we had the pleasure of doing Hellapagos by Jigamic. And in case you don't know how to say it, doesn't really matter because it always means fun, right?
Woo.
But first up, who are we? We are Twist Gaming. I'm Matt.
I'm Ann.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Nicole, and we were joined by Nate for the playthrough. So if you guys haven't seen it, definitely go check that out.
Indeed. And we would like to point out that this stream and all of this week's streams are sponsored by Hellapagos by Jigamic, as well as Elzer Games with Catacombs Conquest. So getting into the meat and potatoes of things, we just wrapped up Hellapagos.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
did 3 playthroughs of it.
Yes.
And as is tradition, we like to have whoever won the game be the person who initiates.
Let's explain Hellapagos first. It's a cooperative game.
That's it's cooperative until you need it to not be cooperative.
Yes. And you're like, no, I am gonna win.
Yeah.
By myself. So, out of all 3 games, spoiler alert, Matt's the only one that won.
'Cause I'm
and
a
that
jerk.
was one of them. Otherwise, we all have died.
Because you're not as ruthless. You're not ruthless enough.
I was ruthless. We just didn't have the resources done.
So it means something. But I'm gonna lead us off here with talking about what I enjoyed about this game. And the big thing that stands out to me is I really enjoy the cooperative ... for now aspect of
Yes.
the game. That really does appeal to me, just because it's fun cooperatively. It's fun cooperatively working towards an end goal with each other, but then also having kind of a secret, not even like a secret mission. It's just kind of like the motive of you want to do whatever is good as possible for the group, unless you can guarantee yourself a victory. Because in all honesty, with the first game, we probably could have won with 2 people, but I saw a guaranteed victory for myself, so I saw my opportunity and I took it because I'm a jerk. So why not, right? Just nod your head and say yes.
It's a really mean thing to do.
Because a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush.
Yeah.
But on top of that too, the game, it's a simple, easy game to pick up,
Yeah.
but it's not barren. There's stuff to do. There's a lot of unique items within the game that add interest.
Which we didn't even see, like,
There's a rather large deck of cards.
a lot of things.
And they're really fun thematically, just because, you're searching for fish, you've got the gun to shoot people, the spyglass,
ticket.
the coconuts, the lottery ticket.
lottery ticket,
That's
which-
the a Lost reference, right?
Kind
Okay.
of. I wonder if that's the lost numbers on there. That's a fun one.
Yeah, this is a really fun one. So this is the Cannibal Barbecue Kit. So if someone dies, you can eat them, turn them into food. There's a few of these. These are useless items, but they all have a funny little flavor text on the bottom. Quick and simple flavor text, but the object is useless. But feel free to show it off, just because, hey, look, I got a Ferrari.
You cannot see the numbers on the lottery ticket, so who knows? They could be. They could be the mystery
Probably
numbers.
not. Probably just like a really ironic thing to have on a deserted island.
Yes.
Lottery tickets.
And then something else that I really enjoyed about the game, too, is you're not 100% sure on when it's going to end. It's a mystery, within a time frame, end condition.
It's
of
a
the game.
7 to 12. If you play by the rules, it's 7 to 12 rounds.
Right.
So it's like, the game's not going to last forever because there is still a set time it's going to end, but it might end sooner than you.
So you might have a luck of the draw and then have an extended period of time, which might not even be a luck of the draw, just because you might... no, because you'll run out of food, you could thin the herd that way. So luck of the draw, have more time to prepare, otherwise you have the hurricane sneak up on you and wash you away.
I like how you morally separate yourself from murdering other people by calling it thinning the herd.
Yeah, because we're all just cattle. And I'm not going to speak too much on it because I want to hear all of your opinions too. So how about the next most ruthless person here? That would be Panda.
You called me ruthless?
Oh, yeah.
I helped Ann out twice. I just screwed you over because...
I don't have any food until Josh saw that you had all of the food.
Alright.
She also told me to play a card, so I did play a card.
And you stole from me twice.
Okay, what did you like, though?
Alright, I have a love-hate relationship with games like this because I do like cooperative games because my group is full of mean people.
Josh!
And
How could you?
and I like the mystery of one person or no people winning at the end. But then again, I'm full with mean people who might stab me in the back at any time. So this is like the perfect kind of game for them to do that.
Shoot you in the face.
Shoot me in the face. He does it to my face.
We don't stab people back. Shoot.
Shoot in the face. I see it coming. So it's kind of like the perfect game. Like, I don't know when to trust him, and he can flip a switch at any time. It's the perfect game for that, and I don't like that. But I do like this game because it was very balanced as far as, like, what you can do. It wasn't like, okay, we're just going through the motions. I feel like the decisions that you make as far as when to fish, when to get water, who should be doing that is very balanced, and you also have to kind of keep in mind that just because it's for the good of the group doesn't mean it's necessarily good for you. But if you're only looking out for yourself, they're going to kill you anyway. So there's a really good balance there that I like. I like that it's almost impossible to predict more than like 2 rounds in advance what's going to happen. And those are things I really like about the game. I feel like every game is going to be completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Anne?
I really enjoyed the various items for the scavenging. I thought it was really cute, the different flavor text on each of the cards. The art style is cute. I think there are 2 different art styles, and I like each of them. Matt and I were talking a little bit before the stream, and we felt like the art style elicited a little bit of like a Total Drama Island or a spoof on a Survivor kind of feel. I liked the fishing and the getting wood kind of mechanic. I like the idea. I mean, the burlap sack. Burlap sack is nice, and the way with the wooden balls, it's kind of nice. It's different. You know, you're playing with cards, you're playing with tokens. It was really neat. And the shipwreck piece too. That was really cute also.
Yeah, the shipwreck piece is awesome.
Yeah, the little thematic things that they do.
I think that was what really makes a game fun, unique, stand out is the little bit, how they differentiate on the...
Well, yeah, I mean, this could have easily been
been a
just
deck.
a deck, but having a little cardboard standout thing, and that's green screening awfully right now, but it's a little shipwreck boat, and you could see it more clearly in our playthrough of it before.
Yes.
But it adds a little bit of a nice table presence to the game as well.
Yep.
Anything else? So that's the thing. One thing I like about this game, this goes up to 12 players.
Oh yeah,
There's
that's
not
a
many
lot.
games that go up to 12 players, and I still think this would still be fun with a larger group.
And I would like to point out too that Nate said that even with 12 players, the estimated playtime is about an hour, which is really short for a 12-player game.
Yeah.
Yes. And I can see that being a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot more items and a lot more things to get done, but a lot more things to argue about.
Oh yeah.
So
It seems like it would be a very different, but still very fun and very fast.
yes.
Which is good because you want a different experience for a different quantity of people.
Right, and the amount of backstabbing and voting is definitely going to go up, which makes it interesting.
And each vote would matter. Like, imagine.
yeah.
And the alliances, your alliances matter. Be like, yeah, I can feed you. I'm going to play you that water for you.
Yeah.
Because it's not like, oh, there's only like...
It's going to come down to us at the very end, and I'm
Yeah.
going to have to screw you over anyway.
Yeah.
Right, because I think Nate was saying before they had a game at Dice Tower Con where they played with the full accompaniment of 12 people, and they had, I want to say, 5 deaths and 7
Seven made it off.
7 made it off the island, which is impressive. It's
Well,
7.
When you have that many more people going for resources, it might be easier, but then it might be harder because you have to feed that many people. So
Yeah.
I think
Right.
the balance there is really nice as long as they keep those numbers kind of consistent balance-wise within the rules as far as how much you can get.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It seems like it would work pretty well.
so I think that's cool. So the board's awesome. It's this little board. You can't see in here. How badly does that green screen?
Have you got a board
Green
cam?
screen's
Green screen,
canceled.
yeah.
Board cam?
Got a board
It
cam.
might be a little bit crooked.
A little bit.
Hang on.
I knocked the camera over because it was in
Oh,
camera
that's
view.
right. You did.
Right,
There
so
you
that's
go.
the board. This is the little ship that fits these.
And the funny thing, too, is the back of the cards are cargo containers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice
Nice
little
little
touch.
touch. It's fun.
So they got that. I mean, we got the cool little, tokens and stuff and little cards, the rain cards. But the cool thing is, not only that,
Nate's props?
they gave
Tuck
us
boxes?
tuck boxes
They look like
for the
cardboard
cards that
boxes.
look like
Oh.
cardboard.
Oh, that's
Cardboard
nice.
crates.
That's not enough. They also print it on the inside of the box to look at
That's
make it
really
like a cargo
cool.
box.
That's a nice.
Oh,
that
look,
the
your
underwear?
dirty undies are there,
The
Josh.
dirty undies are there. The first player tokens there.
The wood plank, I think, is that?
Yeah,
That's a wood plank.
that's
so
cute.
That's really
so
cute.
they did a bunch of little.
They went the extra mile. that's
Yeah,
for
they went the
sure.
extra mile to do these nice little things, which I really like. And then there's the burlap sack.
Which
there.
that you could have been pulling from a random deck of cards.
And
Like,
Josh has a love-hate relationship with
Yes.
the burlap sack that he'll
So-
get into in just a little.
I'll get into it in a second. So, and then you have all these little cool spears,
And
balls.
I'm
for fishing?
gonna go out there and point out how I like that it's a dual-use components with the fishing balls that are also used for when you're doing the wood gathering.
Yes.
That's always a nice thing, just so you're not flooded with one-time use components or
Yes.
something like that.
And you're using the same bag as that random draw bag.
Right.
So I liked all that. I liked how it played. I liked the competitiveness with the co-op
Right.
because it's not standard, like in your
Typical cooperative games.
typical. Because normally there's a portrayer.
Right. You
there's
have
one predetermined betrayer.
you have predefined roles.
Yeah,
in
and
most
there's
games
no
like
rules
Thank
here.
You.
Which is really cool. So I'm not going to repeat whatever so I'm going to start going negatives, and my biggest negative.
Why don't you wait until we get to that entire section of the review?
Everyone-
Anne has not said the
Yes, Anne had
Anne
talked.
said the president?
Yes,
Yeah.
everyone said the
We
positive.
are
So I
at
was
that
going to start
point
with
in
the
the
negative.
Okay, I'm sorry. You've just been rambling.
You're
for
just
long.
being rude. Anne.
I'm just going. The burlap sack's awesome, but
Don't!
it sheds horribly.
Yeah, the table's kind of covered.
My,
We're gonna
my
need
table looks like it was attacked
to
by
sticky boy.
a brown cat. Yeah, but like it's not a huge thing. It's just the burlap sack like that. Otherwise, if you're really really picky, you can slightly feel a difference between the black ball and the
Really?
other one.
Really?
It's very very difficult.
What's the difference?
Smooth?
The paint adds a level of smoothness to it.
Yeah,
Let me see.
it's very minimal.
You have to be pretty good.
You have to be pretty good.
So you could cheat.
You know why? You're like, I'm not even gonna make a joke here. Your hands are moist,
Yeah,
and if your hands are moist, like they slide more on the painted ball.
Can I
yeah.
see?
So
Ah.
I wasn't making it a point to do it, and normally you should. Also, with the burlap sack is a little see through with the darker color.
We were
If-
tending to hold
if
it
you
below
were-
the table. And
Yeah,
stuff
so,
like
like-
that, too.
As long as you're not playing with cheaters and stuff, like you're playing to have
You
fun.
have to really try to cheat, and
Yeah.
you could very easily call these people out.
Yes.
But it can be done.
It can't, and that's nothing against the game. I'm just making a point that there is a little bit there, and that's nothing against the game. It's something I happen to notice, and besides the hairy sack everywhere.
The hairy burlap sack.
Yes, there we go.
But no, I really like the tuck box because there's no reason to give us tuck boxes or anything like that. Like those
It's
are just
really nice that
in the
the
box
game
to
has a
help.
case and they were giving you additional packaging just to make sure that it doesn't all slide around and
like
get messy.
like for this game, like tuck boxes don't matter too much because there's a lot of components needed to it. A lot of other games that are just card games, I would love a tuck box instead of carrying around the big box.
Yeah.
like then put it in here. That's awesome. But yeah, that's my little nitpick things. Gameplays wise, I would like to see. Really want to play this with more players because I think that'd be more interactive, more happening. I'm not sure how it would be with 3 players.
Maybe a
yeah,
little too bare bones.
it might be. I mean, yeah, it's the minimum required, but it might be a little too bare bones.
Because
And I would like to point out though that this is a first impression.
yeah, this is the first impression. We only played 4 players. We played 3 games. That was all we played. So I can't say it is bad at 3. Just how it felt when it got down to 3 or 2 people.
Yeah.
There wasn't much you can do, and that was. So I could see this being a lot more fun with more players, just because there's a lot more stuff happening.
All right, so I'm going to steal it from you there, and again, I really like the game. There's not anything that I really can point out and say, I hate this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to nitpick a little bit here. And TP, if you could go back to the board cam for just a second, I'd like to show off something that I would like to nitpick a little bit.
Okay.
And that is, it's actually easier to see there, but these markers are kind of like hidden in the game. It was a little difficult for me to see, like, okay, where's 6 is all the way on this side, and the 1 is maybe a little hard to see. The 4 is really distant and much smaller. So that was a little. I wish they were a little bit more pronounced. But again, that's
I mean,
part of the design as well too. It's kind of cool the way they did it, so it's not a huge issue.
I get it with the various stages of finding the wood and the equipment to make the raft.
Personally, I think making the raft is just a tiny bit too difficult. Just in a matter of managing all of the other resources and then making the raft, the fact that it takes 6 wood to make it, and if you want to go for extra, how many times did we actually successfully get extra wood? Granted, we were pretty greedy, but there's a lot of snake bites going around, and losing an entire turn really makes you shy away
I lose
from
all the
even,
wood that you did get.
Yeah, it makes you really shy away from attempting it. If you got to maybe keep half of the wood that you would have gotten and you still skip your next turn, or you keep that guaranteed 1, then it would be a little bit better of a trade-off. But otherwise, those are my only real major gripes that I saw from my first impression of the game. So, Anne, I'm going to toss it over to you now.
Alright, guys. I didn't like the game.
Really?
Yeah, this is not my style of game.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
This is not my style of game.
Why?
I don't like the co-op to competitive. Can you please stop?
Sorry.
I don't like the co-op to the competitive, especially with a small group, because I immediately feel like you're on guard at the beginning. I feel like if a game is going to be co-op, then I want it to be co-op. And this is my personal opinion. This is my personal, what kind of games I personally enjoy, and I'm sure that there's people out there that have the same kinds of preferences. So if you are like me and don't like that kind of underneath competitiveness, sneaky and backstabbing, this is not the game that you're going to enjoy. I think the mechanics are neat with the fishing and the wood gathering and whatnot, and I would love to see a variant that was completely co-op against the game. And maybe that would help with it. I also didn't like, I see that they tried to battle the problem with the elimination, where you get to play as a voice for the voting, but in a game of 4 we didn't run into many voting options, so when you're eliminated from the game, you're kind of sitting around waiting for everybody else to die. I think that this is I think that I tend to agree with Josh, where this is probably not a good game. This game would be better played with a larger number of people. I see that being more fun than... I think it's incredibly competitive with 4 people. And then you're not really enjoying the co-op option. We played 3 rounds, and the only reason that you won was because you killed everybody else, took everything, and ran.
That's sure what I did.
And I think it's very frustrating when you play a game multiple times and you don't win. The other small gripe that I have, the small nitpicky, is the 2 art styles. And I think we had another game previously that had the same thing. The board art style and the palm tree art style are much more realistic. The cards, the item cards, are very cartoony. So it's not a huge gripe. Both art styles are very nice, but I think they should have stuck with the cartoony art style, probably. Because a lot of it is done in that art style.
Okay.
And then it's me.
Panda.
My turn?
Yeah.
I did enjoy playing the game. I really did enjoy it. I did want to play again. I did get frustrated that I played 3 times and sometimes no one won and I didn't win at all.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just how I feel like that's just how the game goes. It's not my, like I mentioned, the betrayal co-op kind of co-op is not my favorite, because I really struggle with that line of trusting people, and if I don't trust them, then they're just going to turn on me anyway. I don't like feeling like that. It's not my favorite, but I don't think it's an inherent problem with the game. It's just my personal opinion. I would play it again. I wouldn't have a problem playing it again. I would like to, like Anne said, see a variant in which it's just everyone against the game, but I don't know how it would play if it would balance out the right way. So I can't say that that's like the solution to my feelings, because it might just not work. I don't know. But I did enjoy it in general, and I didn't see any problems. I did think that it might have been unbalanced, and it did feel a little bit hard collecting wood, but then again, I've never played any other way, so I don't know. It might have been the way to do it. I don't know. But overall, I did enjoy the game.
Okay, and that's interesting that you brought it up as well. A variant where it would be pure cooperative would, I think, be pretty interesting.
Cooperative.
There is?
variant
Okay.
in
There
the
you go.
book. And basically, you score points by how many people you have on the raft at the end.
That I think I would
Okay,
enjoy. More.
I think I really
Oh,
would
that's
enjoy
interesting.
that variant as well.
And then there's also solitary castaway. I didn't read the variants, but there is variants in here for
Awesome.
that kind of play if you want to do that.
I like when they include different variations that other people with different playstyles might enjoy a little bit better.
Yeah.
That means that they really thought through the product, and they want to make sure that everyone with different preferences are enjoying what is at its core a decent game.
I think there was a lot of attention paid to detail for this game, so that's nice that they
Definitely with the
they
components.
had, everything that they've done in this game shows
They
that
went
care.
the extra mile, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Like even I believe that they print or they at least have copies of the rules in different languages, and I think even that.
This only came in English, but they might have it per region.
Okay.
So I'm not sure.
Okay.
about
I
that.
thought I read that about Jigga. I could be wrong.
They might do it per region. Like they don't. This is just the
They don't
English box,
okay.
and then they'll have a
But
copy
I
in
think,
different
but even
language. I don't
even
know.
that I've heard a lot of their games comes in different languages. I think that shows attention to detail, and it's a good thing to do as a business to make everyone inclusive with different languages, different play styles. I think that's really cool.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
So I think it comes time for the final, most important question of the evening, and that would be:
Would you play it again?
Would you play it again? So let's start off and go around the circle. So Panda, TP, how about you?
I would play it again. I would definitely play it again.
This game is very much up my alley. I like the cooperation style games, and I really like backstabbing games just because I play like a jerk.
So this is like that niche.
Yeah,
that
it's
hits everything perfectly.
Yeah, it's really nice. And aside from a few minor gripes, like building the raft is, I think, a little on the difficult side, I really enjoyed playing the game. So it's a 2 thumbs up. I like it. For me, I would definitely play it again.
I would not play it in this style again. I would like to try the completely co-op.
Would you try it with more players?
Maybe. I would be more prone to play it with more players, but I would be most prone to play it as the full co-op.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Josh, would you
I
play
would
it again?
I would play it again. And just to point out another thing, most co-op games, since you're battling the game itself, tend to be harder.
Scale.
Yeah.
No, they tend to be harder because it's not fun if you always
Win
win
every time.
And the little bit of you attack each other makes it a little bit even harder, especially in a smaller group.
That's
so
very true.
I'm just making that point of a larger group might not have as much backstabbing, at least not to the very end, where it's like, we only built 5 rafts, there's 12 of us.
We have
Somebody's
to.
going,
So
yeah.
somebody's going. I'm sorry, but someone's going. Where the beginning of the game is going to be a lot more
Oh,
cooperative.
me round 2. I'm thinking of how to thin the herd. So that's
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got a higher percentage of making it and not, yeah.
Yeah. So I think
That makes a good
playing
point.
a bigger,
A bigger game would be more enjoyable.
more cooperative for you.
That's a
In
good point.
my stance, but that's yeah.
all right. So anyone else have
Would
anything
you
to
play
add?
it again?
Yes, I would play it again. I said
Okay.
that first. I thought I did.
Well, now you did. Now we
Now
know.
you did.
I said it twice, maybe.
Okay, thank you, Josh. And thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. This was our honest review section of our Spotlight of Hellapagos by Jigamic Games. And in case you don't remember how to say it,
It always means fun.
it's the
No
greatest
matter
tagline.
how you say it, it's a fantastic tagline.
So thank you all for joining us. We're going to do a soft sign-off now and then get into the meat and potatoes of the rest of the sign-off. But Twist Gaming signing off, I'm Matt.
I'm Ann.
I'm Josh.
I'm Nicole.
And I would like to point out that this stream and all this week's streams are sponsored by Hellapagos by Jigamic, as well as
Elder Games with Catacombs Conquest,
Look at
which
you.
is on Kickstarter right now. And Hellapagos will be available at Gen Con and at your friendly local game store, so make sure you check it out. I believe it is being released officially on September 1st.
Yes, and if your friendly local game store doesn't have it, yell at them and tell them to order it.
That too, yes.
or
yes.
ask them nicely.
Yeah, you always get more bees with honey than vinegar, is that how it is?
No. All right, so good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.